Okay, before we begin, let me just thank you all for coming out. I knew that some of the faithful would be out there. It's kind of a mixed emotion. You guys are crazy. But I appreciate it very much. These guys are crazy, but I love working with them. So, at 11 o'clock, we're all going to face east. And we're going to have the Sirens sound. We'll stand at attention. Right after that, we'll have our firing squad fire the 3-round volley, and we'll be playing taps. So, you see, with only a page and a half, I can't do a 10-minute speech here. But we'll see how it goes. Are we ready? Thank you for all coming out today. It means a lot for veterans. Recently, I came across an article from the Providence Forum. It was written by a retired Air Force veteran by the name of John Keaton. And I'll be using many of his points that he had in his article, and I'm going to bring it together and we can talk about our community. So I'm going to use his article as a guideline for this Veterans Day. Veterans Day is observed to honor those who have served our country. We all know that. And I know firsthand the willingness of our veterans. They want to sacrifice for the common good, for the good of all. And that's one of the key points today. It's not uncommon that we are thanked for our service. Now, I can't speak for everybody, but we, for the most part, appreciate the expression of thanks. For many of us, it was just a matter of duty, but we appreciate the thankfulness of our citizens. Before we joined the military, we swore an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, and that it provides the foundations for the common good of the citizens of this nation. And I want to stress the common good. Yet, there's a trend that is troubling, and I spoke about this on Monday night. But this trend that's troubling to me, it has to do with limiting of free speech in many of our cities, in many of our schools, on many campuses across America today. It is not only the university or the college administrators, but the students as well. This is called the free speech movement. And that started back during the Vietnam War, and a large part of it was the opposition to the conflict in Vietnam. Let me remind you that the number of military deaths that resulted in Vietnam totaled over 58,000. Those individuals gave their lives so that others, including college campuses, could speak out on the issues that they believed were important. I came across a quote from the words of Joseph Rogers. He's a combat veteran who gave a testimony before Congress, and this is what he said. As a veteran, ultimately, my responsibility was to support and defend the protesters under the First Amendment of the Constitution, to freely express their opinion, even if I disagreed with what they were saying. That was his quote, and I agree with it. But let me say this, and let me add this. We too, that are here, fought for our right for freedom of speech. And there are those that are trying to stop us from that. It is true that there are many different aspects or ways of looking at this freedom speech movement. Right now, at this time in our nation, but the bottom line is that it's free speech. The ideas that fueled the free speech movement are now the mainstream of many university and college campuses of our day. It would seem to me that the ability to speak and to express one's opinion of the issues of the day would be welcome. It seems that that's not the case now. We look today at the demonstrations going on in Hong Kong for the ability to have freedoms that you and I enjoy every day. We have military personnel stationed around the world, standing guard and engaging the enemies against freedom. I am confident both of these groups do not have a sense of safety and belonging, and they do feel threatened. Yet they go forward for the goal that they seek because it's worth the price. The First Amendment of the Constitution was put there by our founding fathers, that freedom of speech would be guaranteed because it is so critical to freedom itself. Why is the debate being driven to the level of the individual's freedom? The individuals of feeling good and protesting. It is important not to lose the focus here. The golden rule applies to love your neighbor as yourself, and man created in the image of God. That requires respect, and yet they're trying to take that away. I found another quote. It says, "The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or just the one." Is there a deeper reason for the shift of the individual over the group? Why does an individual have a right more so than the group? Since in many ways it is a one-way mantra of thinking being presented within the halls of academia. Hear my point this morning. The veterans served not for the individual, but for the common good. The veterans served that the constitutional right of freedom of speech would not be limited. Let me bring it down to our community. The best way to honor those who have served is to remember and do as they did. To take the oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. And the best way for you, our citizens, our friends, our families, to defend and support the Constitution is to support those who serve in our community. Back there we've got our firemen, our firefighters, our EMTs, our paramedics. We've got our police department, our sheriff's department. We need to support them. They are our heroes right here in our community. And we need to support them. And that's the best way that we, as groups, can support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Again, I want to thank you for being here today and for coming out on this cold day. Thank you for all that you've done for us. To my friends in the fire department and the police department, to my buddies in here, and to all of you. Thank you for being here, and God bless America. In just a few moments, the sirens are going to be sounding. So I'm going to ask that we stand, face the east, and be silent for a silent moment of prayer. And I'll bring our color guard to attention. Order. Arms, guys. All right. Now we'll have our 3-round volley and the plane of taps. Aim, fire! Aim, fire! Aim, fire! Half lift, face, present, arms, bugler. Order. Again, thank you for being here. Stay warm. And thanks again.